Fortress Rabaul is a campaign for Winglater, and it comes with expansion number 2. Takes place in the Pacific Theater, 1943, so 23 October through 3rd of November 1943. And so I've got the first mission set up. It's this campaign, the format of it looks a lot like the one that comes in the Blitz expansion. That was the one for Kiev. But it's a much bigger, at least the first sortie, I've decided to throw everything but the kitchen sink at the Americans and at the Japanese. So the target for today is going to be the airfields, and I decided to do a heavy raid, which means we're going to use the B-24s instead of B-25s. At the end of this raid, the fighter escort track is going to go down as a result of losses and fatigue. Same thing with the B-24s. The B-25s will stay by themselves. Actually, they will increase. So we'll probably do our next raid with the B-25s. This particular campaign has a little bit more in it. I think it's the most complex of the 4 campaigns that come with the expansions to Winglater. And so you got weather to contend with. You got a number of issues going on. The Japanese have their own interceptors track. So it's mainly going to be 4 different kinds of aircraft. You got Zeeks, you have, and that's the A6M5B, I think. Yeah, this guy. So the A6M5B Zeke is what the Japanese are going to use as their interceptor out of Rabaul. The Americans are going to be using P-38F Lightnings, and they're going to be using B-24Ds, the Delta version, which is a slightly inferior version of the Liberator. It's an earlier model of the Liberator. They're operating at long range, so their bomb capacity is down to 20 instead of 48, and their protection is going to be, or their defense is 0 on head-on attacks. But they can form dense heavy formations, so you can stack 2 of them in the same hex in the formation to combine to improve their defensive posture against attack. We also got B-25, the Delta version, I believe, yeah, B-25Ds, which are going to be just like the C model, slightly less bombs, but improved firepower. They can be strafers. And they can also do skip bombing, so that's going to be kind of fun when we get to it. We can either attack the port, which could include ships in there. We can also attack the airfields at Rabaul. I decided let's whack the airfields first. And so we have a special target counter for these particular targets here. You see the Rabaul airfield. And then there's also some heavy flak next to it, as well as light flak that I positioned in it. You're free to position these within 2 hexes of the target. So there are lots of options for the players in this. On this particular mission, we have 8 squadrons of Zeeks clawing for altitude as they detect the incoming raid. And you have a total of, what we got here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 squadrons of P-38s and 6 squadrons of B-24. So this is a pretty big raid. It's as big of a scenario as I played, and we'll see how this one works out. We're going to have multiple scenarios. Now, we're not going to necessarily have a raid every single turn of the campaign because the weather is going to start to impact things. It kind of moves on this roundabout cycle. So that's going to impact gameplay, so you're not going to always be able to muster these huge raids. I imagine things are going to be kind of like Kiev, where the attrition starts to play a role, and you're going to have smaller raids as both sides hammer each other and attempt to adjust their victory track here. Campaign victory points are going to be achieved by attaining bombing hits on the targets, the primary targets. And so it's based on wherever this is the basis of whether or not the Americans get a victory in the campaign. So that's just kind of an overview of what we're going to do. I'll do a few videos of this campaign as we play it out, and we'll see how it goes. Now I'm playing it solo, just playing both sides the best of my ability, using my cool custom dice I got off of eBay. Some people have asked me about those. They're really not that expensive. You can get them on eBay. They come in all kinds of different styles. So you have the French, Australians, I believe. These are, yeah, teal ones are Aussies. If I can find the right side. There it is. Italians, Chinese, Canadians now. There's no French. It was kind of goofy. Well, there's this for French, but there's not the roundel UK, Soviets, and so forth. So for this one, I'm going to be using the green dice for the Americans, red dice for the Japanese. And I expect this is going to be a lot of fun. Hope you tune in, check out, and enjoy the videos.